Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter in the workshop. So, the last time we were together, we talked about the conundrum in getting this plane, this Miller's Falls, to work properly. And I stumbled upon one aspect of the blade and ChipBreaker setup that I had overlooked. Now, this is a thicker blade in here now. And once I find my file, I am going to file the mouth open by a fraction, just so I can take thicker shavings. But there's also another conundrum. I want to point that out to you. Sometimes, there are only 3 ways of getting a smoothing plane to give you the perfect cut. The absolute number 1 way, super sharp blade. Enough said there. The second way is to close the mouth. Bring that blade closer to the front of the mouth of the plane. But you can do it another way, and you can keep your mouth open a little further and bring the ChipBreaker closer to the cutting edge. Now, here's the conundrum. You can't have both the ChipBreaker close to the cutting edge and have the cutting edge moved forward close to the front of the mouth. Okay, so here's why. And I will show you on the original Miller's Falls. When Miller's Falls designed this plane, they designed it with this ultra thin blade, which unfortunately rusted, and you saw that video about pitting, right? So that's a fairly wide space back. I can't tell you what that is. It's close to a 1/16 of an inch. The closer you get that, okay, the closer you get your ChipBreaker to come into the cutting edge, the sooner the chips are broken, therefore helping to reduce tear out. Now comes the question. If you move this whole thing close to your mouth opening, the ChipBreaker gets in the way. You see what I'm saying? Let's just say this is the mouth opening. The closer you get that to the mouth opening, the ChipBreaker starts to cause trouble. And then you get your shavings bogging up in the front there. So you have to move the ChipBreaker back. Follow me? So you can't always, depends on the plane, but you can't always have it both ways. So what I was doing, can you hear my friend Frankie? There he is. Yep, he's just a little ass. But what I was doing with the thicker iron and the Miller's Falls ChipBreaker was I was moving the ChipBreaker back in order to get a shaving. The other option is to widen the mouth opening, which I will do a little bit, just so I can utilize this chip breaker. So that's about it, everybody. You not you can't overlook these little intricacies. So what I might do with the Miller's Falls chip breaker is put a little bit of a bevel on the front of it and see if I can't, that'll get us closer, because I would like to be able to keep a tight edge and get as close to the front of the mouth as possible for smoothing cuts. But you also want to be able to get bigger cuts, because there are times that you need to move some wood. So you want to be able to advance and get a thicker cut. So what I have in the plane right now is my old Stanley chip breaker. See that? I'm getting thick cuts. I can't do that with the Miller's Falls chip breaker the way it's currently set up. So that's about it, everybody. You can't always have it both ways. Head out to your shop. Go make some shavings, but not before you like, subscribe, and share. Walter out.